Speaking of the year 2015, by the way, Adnan, we're at the end. This is it, man. We're at the end of the rope.
Almost next week will be the Gamer Headline Show Awards.
Yeah,
Um,
Gamer Headline Show Awards next week. That's gonna be interesting. I even don't know what's going on yet. No, I'm
no,
kidding.
I don't know.
No, but it's a really cool idea that Adnan came up with, and yeah, we're gonna unleash that. But for now, we have something to unleash, kind of like a phase one, if you would, for finishing up the year. Our personal game of the year for 2015. Which, by the way, let us just make this for the record. This is not, this is the Gamer Headlines show. We are on Gamer Headlines, but this isn't necessarily Gamer Headlines' game of the year. These are my and Adnan. We each have our own personal game of the year for 2015. So it's our thing, man. We wanted to tell you guys what we thought. But so how should we do this, man? Do you want us to both kind of reveal what ours?
MGS5.
Is that yours?
Yes. No.
No,
Uh,
because that's mine. I'll say it right now. My game of the year for 2015, Metal Gear Solid 5: The Phantom Pain, without a doubt in my mind.
yeah. See, I don't know because there's been so many good games. My list keeps shuffling
Hmm.
between the top five. I will say, yeah, I'll have to say it's MGS5 because I think, as I said off podcast to you, Chris, like the more I think about this game, the more I have more of a fond appreciation for it because I think it
Yeah.
is MGS2's spiritual successor, even though it is obviously in you know in well, like sorry, it is an actual sequel to the Metal Gear series, but like spiritually following on from what MGS2 achieved, it is that. And I think like maybe 6 years from now, or 5 years or whatever, people will start to revere it for what it actually achieved, what it was suggesting, all its themes and storylines. But yeah, I do think it is. I think like Kojima's final entry, I don't think it's perfect. I don't think far from being the perfect Metal Gear game to
Yeah.
bow out on, but it's definitely got some great moments in it. I think like the stealth is really good. The gameplay is, you know, very much quintessential for any kind of open world title. Even though some of the missions do become repetitive, and the list goes on with like the other issues we've talked about, I don't think that's hugely kind of like deters from the fact that it's a very very unique experience.
Yeah.
It's an evolution again of the series, and just like watching it play, it is sort of phenomenal stuff. Like I honestly do think it's one of like my favorite games I've played in the last few years.
Yeah, no, definitely. There's a lot of things about this game. I mean, we spoke about it in our spoiler cast, which, by the way, I recommend you guys to check out. We did, God, my God, it's like an hour and a half, I think, or 2 hours. It's a pretty epic spoiler cast we did on The Phantom Pain. So I won't get into the story details too much. Obviously, yeah, I was very, disappointed with some of the story aspects. Only because obviously, from what we've understood, there's some missing parts of the story. The story itself in the game is not too shabby, but the missing content, leaves a little bit more left for desire. But with that being said, dude, I like this game. I mean, from the micromanaging of Mother Base, which really just gets you thinking of how you're gonna, distribute your troops and what you're gonna do, to like, how you could approach the game so many ways. Like I have my own particular way of playing the game, but I saw my sister's boyfriend plays the game too, and he came over my house once, and he was playing the game. Said, "Man, can I watch you play? Like, I really want to see what your style is." And it was so different than mine. It was like really interesting to see like someone approach something like completely different. And I'm sure if I were to see yours or anybody else that plays the game, it's a different style. Like people have different priorities and different things that they care about. And I haven't, and the game has like it has one foot in the modern age, and it has one foot in the classic retro age. And what I mean by that is, so like part of the game, obviously it's an amazing engine. The Fox engine is incredible. The game looks fucking great. It's such a beautiful looking game, and everything runs so smoothly. Everything runs so well. But at the same time, it has a very stripped down, bare bones feel to it in terms of gameplay, and that's a good thing. It feels like a classic pick up and play kind of game. Like you could just jump into a mission or a side op or whatever, and like there really is no real, like, there's not like a tutorial like, hey Snake, go over there. You know what I mean? There is kind of like at certain parts that are story things, but for the most part the game allows you, it respects the intelligence of the player is what I'm trying to say. Like, and it adapts to your gameplay. So sometimes things become harder. If you notice, there's no difficulty option in this game. It's just, standard difficulty. And dude, I love that so much. Like, that's so reminded me of like classic NES type games, but modernized. So, I mean, for the longest time, The Witcher 3 was my game of the year, because that game, let me tell you, like, if that game does win Game of the Year on a lot of gaming sites, it so deserves it. It's an incredible game. And I'm telling you, it was for the longest time my game of the year. But Metal Gear came and just, like, like almost immediately I knew it was my game of the year. It's such a fucking great game. I think it was on sale for like $40 the other day. And I was thinking, that's a steal. Go and buy that. If you have not picked it up, go and buy it.
Yeah, definitely. I don't really care about MGO and the other stuff and like the online components and crap. I just think that's a bit tedious and not really well thought out and developed. But
Agreed.
Just like everything, I think agree with all your points. I think like just seeing the expansion of Mother Base each time you fly back, the ever expanding base, just some of the plot lines, the storylines are great. The actors have their moments as well. The writing is very top notch when it is obviously used. Some of the missions are just iconic, great epic fights as well. Sometimes very much it's the biggest stray away from traditional Metal Gear in the sense of MGS 1, 2, 3, and 4. Mm-hmm. But I think it's also very great fresh air, and also fresh and just like even still like a great finale to like wrap up the series. I think it's like it's a memorable experience. I think like it's kind of like completely disheartening if you see like someone ruin this game for someone else. I think it's one of those things you should play right to the end and see what happens.
Yeah.
Be mesmerized by an entire kind of like, what the Fox engine is able to achieve, what Kojima achieved, what his studio was able to achieve, everything about it.
Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, I'm still playing it. I picked up my Japanese copy. I'm still playing through the game. Like, essentially, I restarted the game a second time. And I'm taking my time the second time around because, like, I zipped through that game. I beat it. I don't know how long it took me. I think it was like maybe 2 weeks, or I can't remember. But I like really sped through that game. I was obsessed with that game. I didn't like hang out with my wife. I didn't do any of the chores I had to do around the house. Like, I was just like so stuck with that game because it became this obsession. But yeah, I mean, despite some of its flaws, and you're right, the online component is like leaves a lot to be wanted. Metal Gear Online 3 is terrible. It's so fucking boring. But like honestly, I didn't buy the game for that. I never gave a shit about Metal Gear Online. It was always like what Phantom Pain was going to be about. And at the end of the day, it delivered. Like, as a gamer, I so got my $60 worth. I got the collector's edition, but whatever. You get what I'm saying. I got my money's worth. It was great. And it leaves me wanting to know what Kojima's going to do next, because I'm really curious to see what his next game is going to be following the Phantom Pain. So good
definitely.
stuff. But I guess that'll wrap up our Game of the Year talk. So basically, guys, pick it up. Pick up Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain. I know there's some holidays coming up, or there have been some holidays going on. So if you got any money from those holidays, go out and get it. I would recommend it. It's a pretty good game, and be sure to check out our spoiler cast for Adam and I talking for 2.5 hours on the story of the game. But be warned, you will be spoiled. All right, guys, we'll go ahead and we'll close out our show. That's it for this week's episode. Don't forget to follow the Gamer Headline Show on Twitter at TGH Show, and be sure to like our official Facebook page that's called the Gamer Headline Show for up-to-date episodes from Gamer Headlines' official podcast. Additionally, the Gamer Headline Show can be found on Podbean, Stitcher, iTunes, YouTube, and of course, as always, right here at GamerHeadlines.com. Thanks for tuning in, guys, and we'll be here next week for our awards ceremony, our Gamer Headline Show awards. It's going to be good stuff. So be sure to be here as we close out the year. Take care, guys.
Take care. See you later.